And we're live. Roll up, everybody. Rumor has it. Come join. Say hello as you are coming in. I know this wasn't really fully advertised, but come join nevertheless. Click here if you want to come join me live on screen. Nothing to do with politics this session rather. So nothing to do with politics this session. Is more in the human sphere. Especially this story that is the rage all over the Nigerian media space. This young lady, Iniubong, let me just get her name right. So this young lady, Iniubong Umoren, and the narrative of what happened there, that's going to be the central thrust of this particular session. And then, of course, we'll speak to all matters, lifestyle and show business, etc. So that is what we're doing with this one. So click here to come join live on screen. So there's the hyperlink if you want to come join. We're speaking to the Iniubong narrative. So where are you people? Gather, come join. Wama went to Mo. You know how we do it and you know when we do it. So where are you people? Oh, okay, let me just get straight into the narrative and then of course, whoever wants to join can join. So we are speaking to that space that that in Iniubong, the young lady that came to a tragic end within the Nigerian space. So story making the rave, but then of course, is everybody in this narrative really a victim is the question. So you all know, of course, what's happened to this young lady, Iniubong Umoren. So she was a job seeker who responded to an advert for a job. She ended up at that place where the interview was meant to take place. And that was the last that anybody saw of her. So a manhunt. And by the way, this girl was a brilliant student at a university within the Nigerian space. A philosophy student, you know, in her final year. And the most tragic of all things is after her demise now, her results have come out and she's actually passed out of her university posthumously with excellence. So it's just a sad story all the way through. At the heart of it, of course, the victim itself, Iniubong Umoren, and the protagonist, the main suspect, a guy called Frank Akpan. So Frank Akpan, the principal suspect in the gruesome happenings of job seeker and graduate of philosophy, Iniubong Umoren, was paraded alongside his father before newsmen in Akwa Ibom at the police headquarters. Rumors was rife online on Thursday, May the 13th, that Akpan had committed the crime, taken his own life, I should say. I'm just being mindful of the word. So Akpan was in police custody, and then of course there was rumors circulating online that he has taken his own, it's led to his own demise. So the police have felt the need then to parade him in the public space. So let me just show you a clip of this guy now speaking in his own words to say exactly what transpired. So, of course, crime and punishment, something that we always talk about on this platform. But listen to this narration from this guy and then tell me if it's not a case of a victim all the way through. So listen to him speak on this thing first, and then we'll carry on. So here is the main.
Please take your hand to this side.
Not really. Just let us know what happened on that day.
Then be audible.
Loud.
I wonder if you can hear him. Can you hear him? So that is Frank Akpan narrating what happened to the young lady. I'm not quite sure if you can hear him, but I'll see if I can just give you a brief narration And by the way, his father was also arrested alongside him, Frank Akpan, a 20-year-old boy, we would say. So principal suspect in Umoren's case claims she agreed to have sex with him, and that was what led to her demise. The Akwa Ibom Police Command paraded Frank Akpan, the man accused of forcefully taking sexual advantage of and killing Akwa Ibom job seeker Iniubong Umoren, today, May the 14th. He was paraded to dispel rumors that he had taken his own life. Whilst parading the suspect alongside his father, Frank Akpan said he did take Umoren's life in self-defense and not intentionally. So recall that Umore Ubong had gone for a job interview after she posted on Twitter that she needed a job, and Frank Akpan invited her to come for an interview. She told her best friend about this, and the friend raised alarm when she received an audio message from Ini screaming, after which Ini number was no longer reachable. Narrating the incident whilst being paraded, Frank Akpan said, "I asked her whether she could work in a farm where hard drugs was being kept as a secretary. She said she could." So that hard drugs, I'm assuming, is weed, Indian hemp or something, because that is the only thing that you would imagine that they would farm in a farm. So he continues, "I asked her that I would like to have sex with her before she left. She agreed and gave a condition that I use a condom, which I did. Whilst I removed the condom, she became furious and removed the nearby stabilizer to hit me on the head. He said at this point, he moved to defend himself from her attack, and he said he hit her with a pressing iron." So he continued, whilst I was bleeding, in order to stop her, I used the stabilizer to hit her. When I hit her, she fell. Uduak, so that would be the Frank. Frank admitted that Ini was not his first victim. He said he had treated 5 other ladies the same way, but Ini was the only one to pass away. So a serial chancer, but then of course the narrative of this girl now, is it a story of her misfortune, or where is it really going? And the father of this guy, of course, now caught up in the web of activities of his son's doing, which he may almost certainly not know anything about. So this guy said this is not the first person he has done this to, but another person, of course, that he has tried this on came out to narrate her own story. So lady narrates how she narrowly escaped Frank Akpan. So this is another would have been victim. A young lady identified as Blessing Godwin has narrated how she escaped being a victim of Frank Akpan, the prime suspect in the demise of Akwa Ibom job seeker Iniubong Umoren. Frank Akpan on Friday confessed to ending Iniubong, claiming they had consent. Frank Akpan on Friday confessed to ending Iniubong, claiming they had consensual sex, but many Nigerians have dismissed this account, saying it could easily be deduced that she was raped and then ended. In a Facebook post, Godwin explained how Frank had contacted her after she applied for a job opening he posted on a site. According to her, she was unable to go for the interview because Frank had not given her feedback, but received a call some days later from someone on social media asking if she had a telephone conversation with Frank. The young lady said she was initially confused but got the full idea when she went through an investigation report by Newswire Media. She wrote, "My testimony, God has done me well. That is why I don't want to hide it. I have come to testify publicly to the glory of God and to the shame of the devil." 20th April 2021, I was attending an affiliate marketing class on a friend's WhatsApp status around 7 p.m. The class had been on for about 3 days. On that day, he taught us about platforms where affiliate marketing thrive, and he made mention of gg.ng as one of the platforms. It's a link, so I clicked on it and it took me to the site. I was still scrolling through when I saw a job opening at a hotel in Delta State. The offer came with an attractive salary and accommodation too. Since I am unemployed and I was still searching for what to do to keep body and soul together, I applied for the job immediately using my email address. I went back to his status and completed the affiliate marketing class for that day. 29th April 2021 at 1:21 p.m., I got a call from a number which was not on my contact list asking if I am Blecky Godwin. I told him yes, that I am Blessing Godwin. He corrected me and told me that when applying for something official, I should use my name and not some unofficial name. I immediately recalled that I applied for a job using my email the previous day. I told him it appeared that way on his end because I used my email address and that is my email username. He said, okay. He asked if I was good with computers. I told him that I try. He said, okay, that there is a farm along Airport Road that needs a secretary for immediate employment, and he asked if I was interested. I told him yes, and he asked if I would meet him at Airport Road immediately. I told him it wasn't possible because I was at Ibino, which is quite far from Uyo. He said he knew. I asked if we could reschedule the meeting for another day. He obliged. He said I should send my CV to him on WhatsApp and I should save his number as Ezekiel. After the call ended, I saved his number as Ezekiel Job on my phone. Then I went to forward my CV from my email to WhatsApp, but I couldn't. I told him I couldn't forward it to WhatsApp, that he should send his email address to me so I could send it to his email, which he did, and I forwarded my CV to him. So here is a would have been victim recounting her experience with this Frank fella that, of course, is at the heart of this Iniubong Umoren's demise. So she continues, this blessing lady, I chatted him up and asked if he had seen it. He said no, and then I sent it again and asked him for the second time if he said, which he said he had. After a while, I didn't hear from him again, so I chatted him up. I typed hello, and I told him that he hasn't said anything since I forwarded my CV to him. He didn't reply again. I want to believe that by this time, Iniubong Umoren must have arrived at the venue, and he was probably busy doing what he eventually did to her. So I'm just paraphrasing and rephrasing some of the things that she said just for reasons of YouTube. Since that day, I didn't hear from him again. And as God would have it, I totally forgot about him and his secretary job. On that same day, I had the strong urge to praise God. I didn't know what for. I am not saying there has to be a reason before we praise God. The feeling was so strong. I just went on my WhatsApp and typed, Jesus loves me, but the problem is I don't know why. On the next slide, I typed, God, why? Why are you so mindful of small me? I am undeserving of your love in every meaning of the word undeserving, but yet you still choose to love me. Thank you, Lord, for loving me the way you do. Sincerely, I felt the urge to worship God. I felt he did something really big for me, but I didn't know what it was. My friend, Fortune Mavi, even had to ask me to share the testimony, of which I told her I didn't have any yet, but she would be the first to know once it happened. On the 11th of May 2021, I received a call from a friend asking me if the guy that RAP'd and demised Iniubong Umoren called me. I was angry and baffled at the same time because I didn't understand why he would ask if a murderer called me. I asked him why he asked that, and he said he saw an investigative news report on Facebook that contained my name as one of the persons the Frank guy called. I asked him if I was the only Blessing Godwin in Nigeria. He asked if I didn't remember receiving a call from someone like on the 29th of April. Slowly, I began remembering that someone invited me for an interview at Airport Road, but I wasn't sure of that date. So I told him it might be him or not. Beg your pardon, I'm just scrolling too. So slowly I began remembering that someone invited me for an interview at Airport Road, but I wasn't sure of the date. So I told him it might be him or not. He told me the Frank guy called me after he spoke to Iniubong Umoren. He also mentioned the time and the minute we talked for. I was scared. I told him I would confirm from my call list. We ended that call on a nice note. At this time, I didn't remember the name the interview guy, gave me. So I randomly scrolled down to my call list till I got to the 29th of April and I saw Ezekiel Job. Then I remembered he asked me to save his number as Ezekiel. I was still in shock trying to process all the information when I received a call from another friend of mine that told me to check my messenger, that he had dropped a link to a job opening for me. I told him okay and went ahead to check it on Messenger. I clicked on the link that led me to Kufre Kata's timeline. As I scrolled down, I saw the post which my name was mentioned right under the job opening post. I abandoned the job opening post and read the one that carried my name. It was there I realized that the Frank guy is the same Ezekiel that called me for the job interview. So here is a narration now of a would-have-been victim. As I said, she continues, the number on the post was the same number that called me that afternoon. The date he called me was the same day in the post. The time he called me was the same time in the post. The minute we spoke was the same minute in the post. Men and brethren, I couldn't help but shed hot tears. My thoughts traveled far and wide. All I did was to imagine what would have become of me if I had gone for that interview. Maybe it would have been justice for Ini and justice, and maybe it would have been justice for Ini and justice for Blessing. How would my parents take the news? How would my siblings take the news? How would my friends take the news? How would my enemies take the news? I shed hot tears. Then again, I imagined just maybe if he had succeeded in RAPing and finishing Ini without the friend raising an alarm and his evil being exposed, I would certainly have been the next victim. He would have probably called me up the next week and I will go because I need a job, and that would have been the end of me. All I can do right now is to thank God. I don't only want to thank him in private, but I want to thank him in public. I don't know what would have become of me if God didn't show up in the situation. Thank you for loving me the way you do. Even in my unfaithfulness, you still choose to love me. Thank you, Lord. I don't deserve this, Lord. Excuse me. I don't deserve this love, but yet you still love me. Thank you, Lord. I am grateful I don't take this for granted, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Please, if I ever mean anything to do, help me thank God for my life. So please, if I ever mean anything to do, so that should be to you. So that is how she probably intended to write it. So let me read it that way. Please, if I ever mean anything to you, help me thank God for my life. Iniubong Umoren was just an innocent girl looking for a job. She didn't deserve what happened to her as a result of her job search. I pray that God grant her family the fortitude to bear this great loss. Rest in peace, Iniubong. So there you have a would-have-been victim that just escaped the clutches of this fella. But then, of course, a real tragedy all the way through. But then, of course, a real tragedy all the way through. And the real tragedy, I'm not quite sure how much of a tragedy it is for the guy at the heart of the state, this Frank guy. Because, of course, he's a 20-year-old boy, by the way, because, of course, a 20-year-old, to all intents and purposes, is still a boy. But then he's a calculating criminal, is the real thing. Because this is not his first victim, and he is saying that it was as a result of the girl's struggle that led to her demise. So, I mean, the story doesn't really hang together the way he is trying to present it. I wanted to play a clip of him narrating it in his own words, but I decided not to because I don't really think he adds anything, and it's just really a tissue of lies. But what he will have you have is that he invited this girl for a job interview. The girl turned up, and he then told her that there was no job, and it was all a ruse. And then he then proceeded to ask her to have a physical, boy-girl physical contact with him, and she agreed to that. But on the condition that he uses a condom, which he then, in the throes of it, removed, and that led the girl to anger, and the girl hit out at him with a blunt instrument. He hit her, I can't get the words out. He hit back at her with a blunt instrument, and that led to the demise of the girl. So this is his own narration, but then, as I said, it doesn't essentially hang together as a narrative. But the calculating ways of this chap is really what baffles me. So it's a real life in your hand that is the Nigerian experience, even to the point that a young lady just, and by the way, this girl, she's now graduated with excellence because she's a final year student who has finished her exams, and she was just looking for a job to tide over till the results come out. She does her NYSE and then gets into life properly. But then, of course, the results have now come out, and she's graduated with excellence, but posthumously. A tragic story all the way through. The tragedy of it also sweeps up the father of this Frank guy, whatever his last name is, the guy, the killer guy. So the tragedy also sweeps up his father, who has been picked up by the police alongside his son for the criminal activities of his son. So, I mean, how do you square it, and how does it weigh is the question. Let's share thoughts about all this. Let's see what you guys are saying. Nobody is saying much. We have Olamide saying good afternoon. We have Indi Ama saying, oh, your man went to Mo, Kilonchele. I don't know how Kilonchele is quite the language of an Igbo person. Maybe it's Kedu you were intending to say. So that is, not a lot of people in the room anyway, so no real expectations as to that much of a feedback. But then, of course, people can always watch later on playback. So let's go on to the next narrative. This one now, it speaks to that Christendom and propriety within the church. So Nigerian evangelist criticizes singer Chidinma Ikele for not changing her mode of dressing after giving her life to Christ and switching to gospel music. So I don't know who quite this Chidinma Ikele is, but apparently just from that headline, she's a singer who has now given her life to Christendom, and of course then changed to whatever type of music she was singing to now a gospel-oriented singing rather. But apparently from this headline, she has not now changed her dress mode to suit now this her new lifestyle. So again, the headline, Nigerian evangelist criticizes singer Chidinma Ikele for not changing her mode of dressing after giving her life to Christ and switching to gospel music. So now let's now see how the eyebrows have been raised within the Christian faith. Nigerian evangelist Victor Edet has criticized newly converted gospel singer Chidinma Ikele for not changing her fashion style despite now claiming to be born again. Chidinma recently announced her decision to stop singing secular music and embracing gospel music as she is now born again. Edith in his post said since Chidinma announced her decision to become a born again, the way she walks, speaks, and dresses automatically needs to change. So this is what now this pastor now is saying about women's dressing. So that already, so we will discuss that later, why a male pastor has strong views about how women dress. When a person is born again, so these are his words now here. His post on Facebook reads, so these are the pastor's or the evangelist words now. When a person is born again, everything about that person changes both internally and externally. The way she walks, speaks, and dresses automatically changes. This girl, Chidinma, claims to be born again, but she still dresses almost as she's dressed in the world. The way you dress in the world should not be the same as you should dress in the Lord. There must be a change when you really meet the Lord. You cannot be reborn and still be wearing makeup, earrings, eyelashes, false nails, weave-ons, accessories, rings, and pants. So by that pants, I don't think it means the colloquialism of underwear within the Nigerian space, but trousers is probably more the Nigerian interpretation of pants. So, and pants, these things are from the Satan and it is from the world. So wearing trousers by females is of Satan and of the world, according to our pastor Palungo from, but quite why this pastor is having thoughts on female dressing is beyond me. So Sly B, can you explain why a pastor is running commentaries on how women are dressing? Is he a cross-dresser? Would you say this our pastor? What is going on here?
How are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Fine. So you're welcome back to the program. Well, I saw the man when he tweeted this morning. Well, you know, I'll be following a series of tweets from that man before the pastor. Is it Victor Edet or something like that? So, hello, are you there?
No, I'm here. Yes, it's Victor Edet.
Yeah, so I'll be.
What is his business with? Let me just get that girl's name again. What is his business with? How some girl is dressing?
Chidinma
Ikele. What is his business with how Chidinma is dressing? Why is he even looking at her in that way?
What we fail to do in Nigeria sometimes, you know. We rate people by the reason of their platform, but we don't deal with people on a psychological view. You know, we don't have a psychologically evaluation in the system. The fact that someone maybe is very he have a good appearance look doesn't mean inwardly that person is all correct. Let me use that word. But
sorry, Sly, what are you making of these things? Because let me just go back to what he said, because I was really wanting him to land to see where he's going. And this is what he said. He says there must be a change when you really meet the Lord. Yes, we agree with that. So he says you cannot be reborn and still. So this is where I want you to now have your opinion. He says you cannot be reborn. So by reborn, he means born again. So you cannot be reborn and still wear makeup, earrings, eyelashes, false nails, weave-ons, accessories, rings, and trousers. So, I mean, what is that the line of thinking? I don't know. Is that your understanding of
I understand the tweet very well. That is why I was just trying to learn, because most time I do follow the tweet of that man. So there are a lot of controversial something the man used to tweet just like that. I don't know whether he's trying to chase the crowd, or maybe he just want to show his own popularity. But like,
no, he wants to be the next Odumedia. He wants to go into that space.
My question to him very right now, because the way he speaks most time, if you are not careful, you will think that maybe he's the one that hold the key of the heaven, or maybe is the gate man in the heaven, or maybe he's already there. He speaks like person who are already be there. It speaks like person who's also prepare his way to be to the heaven.
He speaks like he's God himself, isn't he? It's like
So what I'm trying to say now, if we have to be directly say question or this tweet to him now, is it that most everything he does or maybe everything is put on? Does it everyone is Babika? So that is the question we also need to ask him, because there is a time he came to tweet about last month that if a woman is on top of a man, they are not going to heaven. It's always heaven. Yes.
I mean, but what is this guy doing in everybody's bedroom and in women's clothes? I mean, what is?
So let's come to this guy in question who came to announce that she had quit from secular music to gospel music. Even when I go back to YouTube to go and listen to some of this guy music, most of them, I'll be 50%, 70%, they are just gospel music. You understand? So, but the picture they put out so far that the girl dressed, I don't see anything wrong with those dressing. Those dressing, they are not contradicting to the.
That is really where the question is, what is propriety within the Christian faith and what is dressing?
Even because why the girl was, when I read somebody,
hold on, the way people like that pastor and others, because he's one of many voices that say this sort of things, the way they are going, we will end up having Christian girls dressing in puda like a Muslim, because that is the only thing that will satisfy them now. We put them in puda and in bokas and whatever it is that those Muslims wear.
If we are to be take a old tree to be more serious, all these things they are just a doctrinal principle. It's just a self belief or self adulteration. We saw that in deeper life, how they turn young guys to other way around. Yes. But later we saw what come out for the man or the person who made such a.
Did you see when his daughter was getting married or his son was getting married? It was like a strip club. It was almost like a strip club. This is the deeper life guy that is telling them to dress modest. When his children were getting married, everybody was naked, like it was like a strip club or something. So it's one rule for one rule for the other. But on this Iniubong Umoren narrative, are you following it? This girl, Iniubong Umoren.
Yes, I'm following the story.
Yes, so the guy, Frank, that has been caught now, is a 20-year-old boy, and it's just a tragic story all the way through, because this girl now, they've released her result, and I think she's passed out with excellence, but posthumously,
I got the result.
It's just a sad story all the way through, isn't it, Sly?
Yeah. Well, it's so unfortunate that this is society we find ourselves. He have just wasted that girl future. He wastes all her efforts. That is just that. But listening to this
and the parents' investment as well in that girl, they've been lasting. The one prayer a parent has is not to outlive their children. You train the child up from carrying her and from bottle feeding to graduation, and then some. Oh God!
So there is no amount of prayer or tears that will bring this girl back to come and eat the fruit of our labor. Where all these things that happen is brought down to the heel of the society. Is societal failure that result to these things. But nevertheless, haven't come to the narrative of this guy in question, because there is no amount of things that will come out for this guy, man, that I might say I will take personally serious, because there is nobody will come to having a counter attack. Because if you listen to this guy very well, because these guys, he did not start this thing today, or he did not start this thing over this girl.
No, I read the second story of a girl that escaped her. Maybe when you scroll back, you hear that. So several victims.
What I'm trying to say is this guy, he have a lot of backups. He have a lot of backups. So don't be even surprised that this guy will even just go scot-free. We're in Nigeria.
Yes, that would not surprise me because he was sounding quite confident and he was saying to the people, watch this space.
The state of mind of this guy, the relaxing of this guy, even
it did not sound remorseful.
Even a person that not even commit crime, don't even have such a confidence.
There was no regret in his voice, not a single bit.
For you to know that the guy already know, as even he's like, even have a professional treatment where he is right now. We're in Nigeria. Even if you even listen to the first confession of this guy, where are the theories House of Assembly member he mentioned? Where are the theory representative member he mentioned? Where are the 9 pastors he mentioned that he normally distribute this pastor?
Oh, is he harvesting body parts? I thought it was just a sexual misadventure
because the statement of this guy is coming from the for the expatriate, from the lawyer. He's coming from the lawyer.
What about this idea of his father being picked up alongside him?
I also argued that one with someone this afternoon. I don't know the reason behind that. I don't just know. I don't have anything to say.
I think they went to the house and found the body of the girl there, and of course they picked up. In Nigeria they sweep off everybody arrested, and then you have to come and prove yourself.
So maybe. I don't know the
yes. Let's hear from Lagos boy. Lagos boy, what are you making of this narrative?
Okay, hello. The story of the pastor about Shidima story. Let me contribute to that. You see, the problem of Nigeria, these pastors. We are discussing Nigeria issue in this or your platform. Look at the Kumuyi. Deeper Life. 30 years ago, he said nobody should watch television. You remember? No hearing, no TV, nothing. All the members started selling their property. Are you with me?
Yes.
Then, after you see the way he's behaving, his wife, his children can get good things. All the pastors in Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria, we have to discuss about this pastor.
But Redeem. Even speak, hold on. Yes, Redeem. Look at his son. What is that one that is always, private jet and babes everywhere? Yeah. Like he thinks it's Davido or Boma, but his life is flashier than Davido. And but then it is from your tithe and offering, and his daddy will be saying, "Oh yeah, I'm such a humble man. Somebody gave me 1,000 naira, and I say, is this all for me? When you have, what is going on?
We Nigeria, we need to stand up to fight these people. All the pastors, Oyedepo, Adeboye, especially the Yoruba pastor, TB Joshua, they do everything like, I don't know. We need to discuss about this.
It's voodoo science, isn't it?
You remember when last time I have a problem with you? When we have this, our Oduduwa something. These are the professionals to brainwash people. Yoruba. The Oduduwa nation will worse more than Nigeria. I'm telling you. I'm scared.
Well, I have a narrative. Sorry, I have a narrative on the Oduduwa nation, which I'll be doing later in the day. But in Oshogo, what they have done is they've hold on. We can't both talk at the same time. Just hold on. I have a narrative on the Oduduwa thing that I'll be doing later in the day. The Amotekun have been put on the streets to put a stop to Oduduwa nation agitation. So I'll do that later. So carry on.
Okay. We Yoruba, our culture, we respect people, even though it's pastor, they can do undo. Oba, the culture make us. If you see the Yoruba pastor, all of them they are using voodoo. That's not how to practice Christianity.
No, you can't say all of them. You can't say all of them. You can only say, maybe you can say a lot.
I want to tell you something. I live in Japan.
Right.
See, all these developing country, the way they are doing, it's not about Christianity or Muslim. They do the right thing. We Yoruba people, pastor is our problem. And we need to fight this thing out. If not, the problem of Nigeria, you can.
But what do you mean fight it out? Nobody. Hold on. These pastors are not coming to your house and putting a gun to your head to come to their church. They build the building and you turn up because you feel you have problems. And if they feel they can take advantage of you, then they take advantage of you. So, I mean, you are a willing victim. So, I mean, what are you talking about?
We need a law. We need a law. The country have to, the new country, if we have our Oduduwa, the country have to make a law. All the church to turn to factory, to turn to.
No. Well, that's the most that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. How can you make a law to stop it? What you have to do is to speak to the people to say, look, this is, and the people know what is going on. By the way, they still go there in spite of. I don't think anybody does not know that they are being taken advantage of. So if they are willing victims, then what can you do? Are you saying that these people, they don't know that they are being taken advantage of? All these people that go to all these churches, they are willing victims.
One man, they don't know because
they don't know.
Good country in the world. Listen,
they don't know.
Law.
They don't know.
Help us.
They don't know.
Yes.
You are saying they don't know.
Yes.
When they are living in poverty and the pastor is they are driving private jets, they don't know they are being taken advantage of.
They were born in poverty, grew up in poverty. They cannot know.
How can they not know? Are you what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Do you know? Do you know they are being taken advantage of? Do you know? Do you yourself, do you know?
That what?
That these pastors are taking advantage of people.
But not every.
No, do you know? Do you know? Are you rating yourself above everybody else? Is that what you are trying to do? That you know better than everyone else? What are you doing, my man?
No, it's not like that. It's not like that. One man, we need to discuss about this thing because if you encourage, we need to tell our people.
But what are you be saying? They should make laws to turn churches into factories. What are you talking about?
Of course.
If they turn churches into factories, then where will people worship? Where will people worship if they turn churches into factories? What are you sure did you think this thing through before you say you have to come correct, you know fully that I don't. Okay. I mean, Sly, what are you making of what this fella is saying? Let's hear. Are you hearing him, Sly?
Yeah,
Christianity come to Nigeria. What are we worshiping?
Okay, go back to Obatala, Abi. That's what you're saying. You are a nativist.
Yes.
Are you a nativist? You are a native.
In Japan, let me tell you, in Japan, they worship their Buddhists. If you store their money, they will go there and pray. You know what's going to happen to you. They believe in that. We should fuck this Christianity, this Islamic something is our problem in Africa, especially.
No, that is what you should have said. You should have said you're a nativist. So that is a different narrative. Kenneth, we see you. We've not heard from you. Kenneth?
Yeah.
Yeah, what says you?
Do you have
one man?
Hold on. Yeah, go on.
One man. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Thinking alongside with Sly B and Lagos Boy, I think these guys are making sense. And if we check the root cause of all the problems we have in Africa, especially in Nigeria today, the root cause is always from religion. And until we face this issue head on, these people came with their alien religion, both Muslim and Christian alike, Christianity alike. pardon me. And the result is what we are seeing today. Like you said, I mean, woman, you are very, very right. You are very correct. These people, they know what they are doing. But you know the problem? The problem is that our society is wired in such a way that if you don't belong to each of this group, you are alienated. You know, I live in the United States.
I know. No, you are completely wrong. And then if you live in the United States, you should know why you are wrong. What Lagos Boy and yourself are saying, I'm not sure if Swipe is saying the same thing, but it is entirely wrong. The problem is not having enough to do and the hopelessness of the Nigerian space. He is using the example of Japan. You are using the example of America. Anybody can use Hold on. Anybody can use the example of a Western society that is well built and they don't take to religion. The reason why they don't take to religion is because all of the things that we're looking for answers for in religion, they have already found it through hard work and science. So they have good hospitals. So when you are sick, you don't have to go to pastor, you go to your doctor. The roads work. They have a social service system that sets a minimum bar. Even if you are down on your luck, you'll still get a house, you'll still get food to eat. So these are all the things that people are praying for in Africa. But these people have found a solution through science and technology. So it is a science and technology and an application thing rather than anything else. So you can, because they have churches all over the place in America and Europe and everywhere, don't they? So you know, what is your story?
Right. I understand what you're saying. We have churches everywhere and mosques alike everywhere in the world. But the percentage, the number of citizens that the other day our vice president said we should pray for God to heal Nigeria. We should pray for God to make Nigeria better. In other words,
that's my point. They don't apply themselves. It's not God.
Exactly.
The prayer, God can help because prayers will always help. But then if they apply security measures, if they start manning all the borders in the northern region to make it difficult for these terrorists to get into the country, then that is already that prayer being answered. If they stop looting the economy and build infrastructures, then you'll suddenly find that people are too busy at work to be going for night vigil. And then, of course, all these churches will start to empty, and those pastors then will have to find a job. So it is more, you know, that's more is because that is what they did in all these civilized countries. They applied themselves to their own space.
So, see, we are still saying the same thing. We are still saying the same thing until we are truly objectives with ourselves. These people, again, let me go back. They know what they are doing. These are pastors and imams. None of them see COVID-19 coming. And you will see in 5 months, 6 months time, you see all of them giving annual prophecy like they usually do. But the people, they will go back again. You see, it's a societal problem. All right. The one, as a Nigerian, I'm telling you what I experienced as a Nigerian. The moment you do not attend one church or one mosque, you are alienated from the society. Unlike the Indians, unlike the Chinese.
Well, I don't attend, and I'm not alienated from anywhere. It's the people you gravitate towards, isn't it? It's the sort of mix that you have in your social cycle. Or social circle.
I mostly have foreigners in my social cycle. Depends based on my lifestyle.
There you are. So are you being alienated by them for not being a worshiper?
No.
There you go.
Alienated by my people, by Nigerians. The moment you do not go to church, they believe, oh, this guy is. I believe there is God, of course. All right. But the moment you do not,
but which God do you believe in? Because of course, Lagos Boy is telling us that Islam and Christianity are alien to our culture.
All of these guys, I believe, based on the earth, based on the world, based on the solar system. But I do not have the full confidence that there is one God sitting up there in the sky. But I believe there is some supernatural power, some sort of supernatural power somewhere.
Yeah, but that is Obatala, and Ayilala,
right? Yes. What if it is exactly? What if it is Obatala, Ayilala? What's wrong with those things? Let's embrace our what. See, Africans were very straightforward before these people came. Africans, we were straightforward.
But to the narrative, Kenneth, what we were talking about is the main story is this Iniubong Umoren, this unfortunate narrative of what happened to that girl, and then of course this Victor dead pastor talking about how women should dress. So speak to that.
So we are still along with the same topic. These guys, they will tell you how to dress, and they will give you the inscription of how God wants people to dress and all of that. You see, and as a pastor, if you wear a swimming top or you wear jeans, you go to the pulpit, they will say, "Oh no, that's not how to dress." But because our people, our masters, you know who those I'm talking about, they told us, "Oh, if you want."
Have we lost you, Kenneth? Okay, I think we've lost Kenneth. So, Sly, I'll take your just your remarks as I seek to round off. Sly.
Yeah. Okay. What I'm just want to say is that like the last those guys that spoke, they were what I just see over this religion issue of it is like. Is because of the hopelessness of the society. That is what make religion begin to strive, because now everybody begin to see, we believe in superstition in Africa. Why the other world, they believe in science and technology. Both things we need to do by ourselves, or we are expecting God to come down to do it for us. So because of the dilapidation of the society, then everybody begin, it's just like when when someone is poor, for instance, he believes everything you tell him or her. So because he's looking for a way to come out after that poverty. So they are seeking for
desperation, isn't it?
So that is why you see religion become an exploit in the society of Africa. So if you even look at the major dominant church now, is the church that preach prosperity and miracle. So of which those things we they see, within the year, or maybe often we don't see those things because of the failure in the society. Like where we are now, we do see churches here. It's not by force. Like where you were making some analysis that what they are expecting the church, or maybe the superstition to do for them, the system is already providing for them. Like go. I do ask people here. Some of them will tell you, say they don't. Some will say they believe God, but they don't go church. Some will say they don't even believe, just like that. So
it's only during wedding. It's only wedding that they use church for now in the West. When they want to do wedding,
so here where I live now, they have more confidence in government, their government, than the church. So why in Africa they have more confidence in the church than the government? Even the elected officer will tell you it's only prayer that can help us to solve the problem.
So when the vice president is saying that,
where you were making your manifesto. Do you tell them if you enter, you are coming to lead a prayer?
Prayer warrior, yeah.
So imagine when the governor is telling you they should be praying. No, they are using that word religion as a symbol of deceit to the country. They are just using it. Anybody that want to do something now, what that person will do? He will give an excuse, say, let's pray. Let's pray. Is it the prayer now, or is it God now that is, or is it God that come for everyone helping
you know the real tragedy of the Nigerian space. Everybody is so bought into that. You see this Frank guy that they caught, or all the armed robbers that they ever caught. When they put them in handcuffs and they parade them in front of the media, you know what they always say? It is the devil that is that not the story of everybody. It is the devil that made me do it.
They blame it to the devil.
It is the devil. So Sly B, it continues. Always a pleasure. Thank you. Lagos boy, you're up. Lagos boy. Are you there, Lagos boy?
Okay. Hello.
So just your final remarks.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Like,
Carry on.
I like what you say, the devil. Yes, that always in Nigeria, if you make a mistake or you commit a crime, we will say is the devil. Are you with me? Then in this civilized country, once you commit a crime, hello?
I can
Once
hear
you
you.
commit a crime,
Carry on. Yeah.
you have to pay for the crime. That's what we are saying. Nigeria, look at the story of this Baba Jebu, Baba Jisha story. Are you with me? He was saying it's the devil because we don't have the law. We don't have the law. He's committing an offense. He have to suffer for it. In abroad, in this civilized country, every offense you have to pay for it. Let me give you one story. I have a driving problem here. They took me to the police. Then I have to stay like 5 days. Then I was praying. Then the guy the police guy was saying, you don't need to pray. You will stay here 5 days. Hello? Then
I can hear you.
After 5 days, the case, after 5 days, the case was out. I told my wife, bring my Bible. They were just laughing at me. They are just laughing at me. Say, prayer cannot help you out.
But why are you bringing Bible? Are you not the one just saying to us just now that it is Shokono and Ayilala that you believe in? Look at that. Look at that. The hypocrisy.
It's because of the...
You are sounding like a hypocrite, you know. Just 5 minutes ago, you were lambasting religion, and now when you're in trouble, you reach to it.
I'm just telling you my experience about this this prayer of a thing. Then after 5 days, I went to the prosecutor. Then they said, go and pay so fine. Then the first day I was shaking, praying. They are just laughing at me. The law have said you will stay here 5 days. You go to prosecutor, you pay your penalty. You don't need to pray. You understand? The problem we have in Nigeria, look at the story of the Baba Jesha. They cannot even bail the guy now. They can't bail him out. We don't have a law. There's no law in that country.
Well, there is law. It's just not applied.
The law is not working for the poor masses. That's the problem. We have to change. This Christianity, we have to change everything. Is the problem.
But you did not change it when you needed it, though. Is that not hypocritical, what you just said?
It's not. It's because of my background. My background is all about praying. That's why I told you I've changed.
How long ago was this incident that you described?
Oh, it's like maybe 5 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Thank you. It's good to hear from you. Japan. Well done. Lagos boy in Japan. So you have to explain that next time you come. God bless. Showbox, you're up.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, one man. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, what are you talking about? You talked about...
No, we were talking about Iniubong Umoren, the young lady that I'm sure you're aware of the narrative. And then we also spoke about some pastor that was running a commentary about how women should dress. Okay,
yeah, okay. Let me talk about the dressing, the dressing part, okay? So I think that dressing is not about religion. It has nothing to do with religion, because I've seen people who are non-religious and they dress really politely, they dress really good, and I've seen people who are also religious and they dress really bad and some dress good. So I don't think it's a religion.
I mean, it's nothing to do with the dressing at all, is it? Because all these women that they dress modestly to the church, and then after the session, the pastor will take them around the corner and do whatever.
That is it, exactly. So, the choristers or the choirs, those who sing, at the end of the day, they at the back of the stage. They have a lot of things to do in there. So I don't really think that
extracurricular activity.
Exactly, that's a very good name for it. They have all those things to do there. So it is not.
And I'm also querying the name of the pastor is Victor Edate, and what Sly was explaining to me that he has history of this sort of thing. So I'm also querying why the pastor will even be paying that much attention to women's clothing. Is he one of those Is it wearing? Is it Pastor Bobrisky? Is it Bobrisky Pastor Bro? Is the Pastor Bobrisky after what is going on here? Yeah,
in Nigeria, the people have to tell you, but the pastors, they assume. In fact, it's because of the people we give them those power. Just like one of the topics you had last time, someone went to pastor and say, "Should we do oral sex?" Or oral whatever. So
it was this same pastor. It was this same pastor, still Victor Edet, that was
really
telling people. No, I'm not sure if it was oral, but he was saying that if the woman is on top, then that is unbiblical. So what he's doing in other people's bedroom and going through women's clothing is this funny pastor.
Exactly, it's really funny because behind closed doors, he for him to
I mean, does the Bible even speak to how a man and a woman should be together in the privacy of their own bedroom? What is the what I mean? Do you not just move as the Spirit moves you?
Why should Bible speak about all those things? All those things are personal. All these things are personal. Whatever, how you want to do it, just go and do it, because animals do it the way they do it. So, and you as a human being, in fact, one thing
is turning his church into pornhub.com or something. I mean, what is going on here?
One thing I think is that there's one thing I think that there are people that think for themselves, and there are people that other people has to be, people has to think for them.
Who constitutes the majority in those two people? Who constitutes the majority?
The majority are people that are needed to be taught for. People that are needed to be taught for. Yeah. They constitute that majority, because you just imagine the kind of questions people are needing answer for. These are things that you need to go out there and do how you want it. You shouldn't need answers. You shouldn't even ask such questions, because you can't tell me you can't tell me that maybe your parents or maybe when you become an adult, your parents have to teach you. You would have asked them, "Oh, mommy, oh, daddy, how do I need to make love to my wife?" Those kind of things. These are things that are instinctively.
In some cultures, when a woman wants to get married, the older women, they'll take her into some place and tell her all the rudimentaries of the functionalities. But I will leave it there before we get too X-rated. Thank you so much. It's a short session. God bless. So we were speaking to the Iniubong Umoren narrative and a pastor that has a penchant for women's clothing. What says you? Come share thoughts about all this in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry the conversation on within the comment section, but here I say peace.